But no, Ben is an interesting dude. He's like, you know, he believes in what he believes in, and you know, more power to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was cool, and he wanted it to be successful.
Yeah.
And that was a part of what I respected. Like,
now, did you ever see him and William Lane Craig together?
Ruslan.
What was it like working with Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro and all those guys?
It was cool. Like, you know, people will throw around what they want. You know, they're racist, they're this, that, and the third.
People say that about Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, for sure. He's,
okay.
yo, to a lot of people, he a white supremacist.
the Jewish guy is a white supremacist.
I'm serious. Like the DMs that I've gotten, the messages that I've gotten, and like posting a picture or something like that. But in that instance, to me, even if they were racist, they put ideals and ideology over race, because they said, here is a black young man that in some way, shape, or form shares some of the same values that we respect and we promote, and we want to give him a platform. And so this Jewish white guy gave a black Christian, you know, he doesn't believe that Jesus is the, you know, the Messiah, a platform to say Jesus is the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they have my respect. Again, may not agree with everything that they put out, everything that they go against, everything that they do, but I respected them for that.
Yeah.
Because I am different from what they represent in a lot of ways.
This is one of the new pieces from the He is Him collection, Jesus the King. When you wear this shirt, you do two things. One, you remind yourself in your life who the King is when you put this thing on. Two, you represent who the King is when you go out in public. So get ready for the He is Him collection, available this Friday to Sunday only. Did you guys, I know obviously you wrote the book, but did you guys ever get to talk faith and that kind of stuff?
We got to sit down. You know, even we sat down with me, him, my pastor, my wife, and my pastor was dropping nuggets, like dropping little nuggets of faith and that God is up to something and things like that. Just to, I mean, he's a pastor, he's doing what he's doing. Yeah. But no, Ben is an interesting dude. He's like, you know, he believes in what he believes in, and you know, more power to him. Yeah. But yeah, he was cool, and he wanted it to be successful. Yeah. And that was a part of what I respected. Like,
now, did you ever see him and William Lane Craig together?
No.
Oh, bro, you gotta go back and watch that. William Lane Craig grills him about the resurrection.
Okay, no, hold on. I thought you was talking about like in person.
No.
I saw the video.
You saw the video?
Yes.
That was good.
William Lane Craig is my favorite.
Yeah.
He's the top dog.
Yeah.
So I've watched so many of his videos and debates and stuff like that. So no.
Yeah. William,
there's one more there's a pastor.
He had John MacArthur on, surprisingly.
John MacArthur.
Which I was like, that's an interesting combination. Yes. But with the William Lane Craig, I thought what I appreciate a lot about Ben is that he has very strong views, and a lot of which I agree with, but I appreciate that he will allow people he disagrees with to come on his platform whether they're Christians, whether they're on the left, regardless, and to have the dialogue. And I go, man, that's commendable. You know what I mean? Like, that's commendable and that's respectable to have because to your point, you don't really see that on the left, you know?
I had a Zoom call with I won't say them, but there's a publishing company, a well-known kind of big-time publishing company, and we were pitching them the book, tell them about, you know, who I am, what I do, and I got to the part where I said I stood in the bubble, and they were like, huh? They're like, you did what? And I was like, I decided to stand in the bubble, you know, for my faith. Yeah. And that was it.
Really?
Like, no.
You know, I feel like there's a shift on that now. Yeah. Yeah, because I think, well, obviously because of the whole Black Lives Matter organization drama, but I feel like even like I'm talking to a couple of publishers this week, you know, and one of them is from one of the big 5 publishing houses. And so like I am not
congrats on that.
Thank you. I'm not like a clean cut, like, you know what I mean? Like I've got some pretty hot takes that have went viral. Yeah. So I think they're shifting on that. Because I think a lot of times these publishing houses, these labels, they're like, can you get eyeballs? Exactly. And that's it. You know what I mean? They're more capitalistic before they're ideological about something, you know? Yeah. So I think that's interesting. So they just flat out just shut you. Was it like right after the bubble thing? Because it probably was a little more polarizing.
Not right after, a little bit after, but it was, you know, 2 black ladies. Okay. And so as we were pitching big, I even felt like we're going to get to that point. And then it was just like,
wow. That's kind of crazy, man. I mean, yeah, that's wild. So going with Daily Wire was just kind of like they were someone you built the relationships with, but you were open to going with other publishers.
Yeah, I was definitely open to going to other publishers. It
looked very like you guys built it together. Like when I saw it, it was like, oh, this is brilliant. Like they went and sought you out and had you write a book. That's how I perceived it. But you had the book idea anyway, and you just shopped it.
Right. Okay. I shopped it, and they supported it. You know what I'm saying? Like when we had our meetings with the folks, like they were 100% about behind it, and 100% about keeping the vision to where it was like, you have some publishers that's like, okay, we need to tweak this, we need to tweak that, we need to edit it. This might be too much Jesus in here. They weren't like that. They were like, we want you to stay true to your story and be able to share it.
That's so dope. I think when you said stay true to your story, what I think is one of the beautiful parts is, from clarity leads to confidence. And when people have clarity on what it is that you're about, then they could be more confident what you're about. And so I think you even having long form conversations like this and sharing your heart, I think leads to like, oh, no, I can't just dismiss this dude as like some, NBA version of Candace Owens. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because
I've heard that a few times.
Because people would say that, but then when you listen to you, like that's not what you're on at all. In my opinion, like I know you and Candace are friendly and there's some overlap, but like I think there's more nuance in what you're saying. You know what I mean?
1,000%. And I think that's a part of what is wrong with the country, that we can't get a lot of things done because it is just about polarization. As soon as you say hot button words, there is no room for, and then being able to sit down and talk. It's like, it's so easy to attack a title. It's easy to attack, the buzzwords, woke, racist, trans, all this. It's easy to attack those, but it's like when you actually can sit down with somebody, you see their humanity, and even if you disagree with them, you can talk about it in that way. But just over Twitter fingers is.
I had a friend of mine, bro, good friend of mine, and so when Roe v. Wade got overturned, I had to put out a video. And my video was basically like, y'all need to stop acting like the sky is falling. Okay, like this is a big deal, but like stop acting like you not being able to go and delete babies is somehow, you know what I mean, like destroying your rights. And I had this bit that where I said something like, it's ironic that the same people who can't define what a man or woman is also can't explain what a baby is or when a baby begins, right? And I had this bit, and apparently it got clipped and put on Twitter. And when people were searching pro-life, that was one of the first things. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this. Like I know the video did all right, and I know the Instagram reel did all right, but I didn't know that went crazy on Twitter. So one of my close friends sits down with me and he goes, hey man, like you on this whole like, deleting baby is this thing, and like you just come off very like fringe right. And I was like, fringe right? Like what do you, like I'm not on no, like I'm personally not on no MAGA stuff. Like I'm a conservative, but I'm not out here with like, oh my Kanye, I love Hitler vibes. Like, what are you talking about? And we had to keep like unpacking it and talking about it. And then what I did? I finally showed him what I do on YouTube in the sense of like, there's a couple other creators that shouted me out, like big creator, like Abba and Preach. I don't know if you know who they are, but they shouted me out in a video as like Ruslan's the Christian. No, but he's the cool, like he gets it. Like he's not, he don't compromise, but he's also going. And so it took my friend getting clarity from another creator to like actually get what I was doing, and that I wasn't this like fringe right radical activist anti, you know what I mean, guy. And so like it's interesting that sometimes people would dismiss you without ever hearing you,
right? Because they got to put you there.
It's easy just to dismiss somebody as like, oh, he's this woman hating, trans, like to your point. But it's like no, you actually got to sit and engage in conversation in long form to actually get somebody's heart.
And I think too, a lot of times there is just no respect for people's beliefs in the sense of like take it with that conversation. It's like, if you believe that this is or something like that, there's no desire to figure out where that comes from in the sense of like, when I hear that you're Christian, people label Christians as this, that, and the third, but when you actually look into the faith and what does that mean? It means that every single life is created by God.
Right.
Every single life has a purpose. Right. Oh, that's what you believe, and that's why you believe that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like as we unpack that and be, okay, I can understand your strong aversion to this, this situation, this topic, because of what it is that you believe and hold dear in your heart.
Yep.
And even in that situation, all that really did that just took it away from federal. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That made it on the states, but it was such a
they were losing it.
A hot topic.
They were losing it. Yeah, and I say all that to say that through much conversation, we got to a better place. Me and my buddy got to a much better place on that. And now he's like, oh, I get it. I understand what you do. It's not what I thought it was. this is what you know what I mean? But it required effort. It required two people coming together, having conversations and discussing it to land it where they're
You know, I had a thought yesterday about that specific conversation, and I was thinking to myself, what would happen if all of the right wing folks that people, say this, that, and that came out and were like, you know what? Yes, do it. Like, it's great. Do it. Like, we want as little of you as possible. Would that create an automatic, like, oh shoot, no, we want now we, like, just kind of playing from the side's perspective. If one side is for something, the other side hates it.
Right.
Then one side hates it, then the other side is for it.
Right.
If like what that would look like in like the landscape of like Twitter or the way the world works. Yeah. If one side was just like, you know what, yeah, go for it. Yeah. And then seeing how the other side would react. If you do want to check out Unitas, you can head to We Are Unitas on Instagram, Twitter, and weareunitas.com.
Weareunitas.com.
Appreciate you.
All right. Peace. This is one of the new pieces from the He Is Him collection, Jesus the King. When you wear this shirt, you do two things. One, you remind yourself in your life who the King is when you put this thing on. Two, you represent who the King is when you go out in public. So get ready for the He Is Him collection, available this Friday to Sunday only.